Shalom. First and foremost, I like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well, and peace and salutation to the elect of Israel. Alright, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying to the flock of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. And this lesson is going to be about the so-called Stop Asian Hate movement that's been going on recently, right? Now, according to the scriptures, Asians are, or so-called Asians are, Moabites, which are so-called Chinese men, and Ammonites, which is a so-called Japanese man. All right, they are, they descend from Lot, right? After his daughters got him drunk, both his daughters got him drunk and had sex with them because they thought they were the last people on earth. All right, and this is why they look very similar. They have the same genetic features. All right, these are literally incest babies. All right, and this is fact, man. All right, but as you see on the screen, it says a new bill was passed for hate crimes against the anti-Asian violence. All right, these people were oppressed for a couple months, maybe a year, due to the pandemic, and now they have legislation passed for them, and not anybody else that's oppressed in so-called America. All right, and this also shows you that these nations are confederate against each other, with each other, Salakia, against the nation of Israel, which is the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, but this so-called Stop Asian Hate will never stop. All right, because the Most High hates them. All right, and I'm gonna use the scriptures to prove it. All right, I'm gonna jump over to Deuteronomy chapter 23 and verse 3. An Ammonite, which is the so-called Japanese, or Moabite, which is so-called Chinese, shall not enter into the congregation of the Lord Yahweh, even to their 10th generation shall they not enter into the congregation of the Lord Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai forever. All right, and it's not for no reason, man. The Most High doesn't hate for no reason. All right, well, He created them to be a certain way, but in the beginning He gave them their own land. All right, He gave everybody their own land when He divided the nations. All right, they had their own land. But in verse 4 it says, because they met you not with bread and with water in the way, when ye came forth out of Egypt, and because they hired against thee Balaam, the son of Beor, of Pethor, of Mesopotamia, to curse thee. All right. They had a controversy with you as well, man. All right. You just got out of captivity, and they were hostile towards you, man. They hired people to put curses on you, man. All right, and this is why they can't enter the congregation until the 10th generation. All right, Most High has a controversy with Moab and Ammon, so to stop Asian hate, you gotta take it up with the Most High, the author of hate. All right, let me jump over to Psalms chapter 60, and Moab has sore judgment coming to them, man. I talk about Edom a lot, and Edom has the worst judgment coming. But all the nations have a judgment coming to them, man. They're all going to captivity for 1,000 years, man, and then they will be back in their own lands, man. All right. Even though it's not as sore as our judgment, but it's still their judgment is coming. All right. Psalm chapter 60, verse 8. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom would I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me. All right, now let's go into that word washpot. Pot, a household utensil or temple. All right. By implication, a hook, cauldron, fish hook, pan. All right, that's something you use, man. Moab's an item. This is why they also go into captivity. All right. Let's jump over to Salakia. Ezekiel chapter 25. I'm tripping. Salakia. I'll start from the top. Ezekiel 25:1. The word of the Lord Yahweh came to me again, saying, Son of man, set thy face against the Ammonites and prophesy against them. Alright, so the Ammonites, these so called Japanese. And say unto the Ammonites, Hear the word of the Lord Yahweh, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power, because thou saidst, Aha, against my sanctuary when it was profaned, and against the land of Israel when it was desolate, and against the house of Judah when they went into captivity. Behold, I will deliver thee to the men of the east for possession, and they shall set their palaces in thee, and make their dwellings in thee. They shall eat thy fruit, and they shall drink thy milk. Alright? So he's basically saying your land's going to be taken over, man. You're going to eat your fruit and drink your milk. That's domination, man. That's captivity when you think about it. Even paying taxes is captivity. So what are you going to think they're going to do when they're eating your fruit and drinking your milk, man? And that's not literal fruit and milk. Well, it could be, but it's meaning taking the substance out of there, man. The natural resources. All right? Salakia. I'm not going to read the whole chapter. I had a couple of precepts highlighted in this chapter. All right. Actually, I'll read this whole part. Salakia. Ezekiel 25:5. And I will make Rabbah a stable for camels, and the Ammonites a couching place for flocks. And ye shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. For thus saith the Lord power, because thou hast clapped thine hands and stamped thy with the feet, and rejoiced in the heart in Slakia, and rejoiced in heart with all thy despite against the land of Israel. Behold, I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and will deliver thee for a spoil to the heathen. And I will cut thee off from the people, and I will cause thee to perish out of the countries. I will destroy thee, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh power. Alright? Now, low key, Moabites and Ammonites, they're in captivity as well right now, too. Who do you think is making all these smartphones and in these sweatshops, man? Even though it's Jake scattered among Moab as well. But the leaders of those nations, man, they pay their people basically slave wages, right? Even though slaves didn't get paid, but it's way below minimum wage. And this is why you see things like, 50 cents a day could feed a child, so on and so forth. Because these people aren't really getting paid that much, man, for the work they do. All right, these phones cost $1,000 and up to buy them, but to make them, the people are probably only getting paid $1 or so. I don't know how much it is exactly, but I know it's very, very little. All right, I'm gonna jump down to verse 11. You know what? I'll start at verse 8. Ezekiel 25:8. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because that Moab and Seir do say, Behold, the house of Judah is like unto all the heathen. Therefore, behold, I will open the side of Moab from his cities which are on his frontiers, the glory of his country, Beth Jeshemoth, Baal Meon, and Kirathaim, unto the men of the east with the Ammonites, and will give them in possession, and the Ammonites may not be remembered among the nations. Right? Ammonites going into captivity as well, which is so-called Japanese. Verse 11, and I will execute judgments upon Moab, and they shall know that I am the Lord Yahweh. Alright? Yeah. But that's judgment coming upon Moab as well, man. Alright? And more judgments of Moab will be in Jeremiah chapter 48. Yeah. I'm going to jump down to verse 16. Jeremiah 48:16. The calamity of Moab is near to come, and his affliction hasteth fast. Alright? The time of Moab's judgment is coming too. Alright? The whole planet is going to get judged at the same time. either by righteousness or for their wickedness, either for their righteousness or for their wickedness. Now, 2/3 of our people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, are going to be put to death, man. Are going to die by nuclear destruction, according to the Bible. All right, your judgment will come along with the other nations, but the house of Israel will receive their judgment first. All right, you can find that in Peter. The judgment will begin in the house of Israel, roughly paraphrasing. All right, now let me jump down to verse 29. We have heard the pride of Moab. He is exceedingly proud. His loftiness and his arrogancy and his pride and the haughtiness of his heart. I know his wrath, saith the Lord Yahweh, but it shall not be so. His life shall not so affect it. All right. Now, Moab is proud, man. This is why Edomites and Moabites get along so well, man. A Moabite is a substitute Edomite when you think about it. All right. Now, if you walk into any stores, any places of that these Moabites own and run, they're proud, man. They don't greet you or nothing, man. They watch you as you walk up and down the aisles. I seen a video of a Moabite dude put a Eve woman, she looked like Judah, in a headlock when she was trying to get weaves and stuff, man. All right, this is what they think of you, man. These are proud people, man. They're not as proud as Esau, but their pride is up there. All right, let me jump down to verse 37. All right, I'll start at 35. Moreover, Jeremiah 48 and 35. Moreover, I will cause to cease in Moab, saith the Lord Yahweh, him that offereth in high places, and him that burneth incense to his gods. Therefore mine heart shall sound for Moab like pipes, and my heart shall sound like pipes for the men of Kehares, because the riches that he hath gotten are perished. For every head shall be bald, and every beard clipped, and upon the hands shall be cuttings, and upon the loins sackcloth. All right. He's gonna cause all the joy, all the mirth in Moab to cease, man. All right. When you give offerings and burning incense to your other gods, man, you're either doing that to ask for something or to glorify your other gods, man, your idol gods, man. All right. And every head shall be bald and beard clipped. That's mourning, man. When you shave your head and cut your beard, and upon all hands shall be cuttings. You see that now in these teenage suicide shows. What do they show? Kids cutting their wrists. That's the cutting in their hands, and upon the loin sackcloth. All right, verse 38. There shall be lamentation generally upon all the housetops of Moab, and in the streets thereof. For I have broken Moab like a vessel wherein is no pleasure, saith the Lord Yahweh. All right. Then in Psalms chapter 60, liken Moab to a washpot, man. For I have broken Moab like a vessel wherein is no pleasure, saith the Lord. They shall howl, saying, how is it broken down? How hath Moab turned the back with shame? So shall Moab be a derision and a dismaying to all them about him. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, he shall fly as an eagle, and shall spread his wings over Moab. Kirioth is taken, and the strongholds are surprised, and the mighty men's hearts in Moab at that day shall be as the heart of a woman in her pangs. Alright? I believe Kirioth is a city in Moab. Could we jump up to verse Salakia? I'm gonna start at 20. Moab is confounded, for it is broken down. Howl and cry, tell ye it in Arnon that Moab is spoiled. And judgment is come upon the plain country, upon Holon, and upon Jahaza, and upon Mephath, and upon Dibon, and upon Nebo, and upon Beth Diblathaim, and upon Kiriathaim, and upon Beth Gamul, and upon Beth Meon, and upon Kerioth, and upon Basra, and upon all the cities of the land of Moab, far or near. All right, these are the major cities in Moab. Some of them, or yeah, most of them, and he's basically saying all the lands of Moab is gonna feel it, man. All right, and Dibon is the capital. I have an ancient map here from Wikipedia. This is Kingdom of Moab, Dibon. All right, and you got the northern and southern kingdom of Israel. And you got the Philistine states with Ashkelon and Gaza. And you see what's going on over there in the news today, man. 'Cause we're at the end times. All right. But the kingdom of Moab, Dibon is the capital. All right. Let me jump back down to 41. Kiriath is taken, and the strongholds are surprised. And the mighty men's hearts in Moab at that day shall be as the heart of a woman in her pains. See, the mighty man's heart is going to be the same as a woman going through childbirth, man. Going through labor. All right? You got men of war going to scream like women, man. In that day. All right? What day is that? It's the day of the return of the Lord Yahushua, man. All right? Verse 42. And Moab shall be destroyed from being a people, because he hath magnified himself against the Lord Yahweh. All right? Slakia. Again, when you magnify yourself against the Lord, that's your pride, man. That's pride. Verse 43. Fear and the pit and the snare shall be upon thee, O inhabitant of Moab, saith the Lord. He that fleeth from the fear shall fall into the pit, and he that getteth up out of the pit shall be taken in the snare. For I will bring upon it, even upon Moab, the year of their visitation, saith the Lord Yahweh. Alright? Moab and Ammon is going to get visited too, man. It's not just Esau, man. It's not just Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. It's every nation that had a part in our captivity. And the scripture said, what nation hasn't had a part in our captivity, right? But I'm going to wrap it up with that. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Again, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles, a great Milson Ruel, and peace and salutations to the elect of Israel. Until next time, Shalom, and Abad Babal. Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha, Baba Kasha.